Untitled Media.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Rick Hitchebruggy, and joining me down in Arizona is Derek Elliford. How's it going, Derek?
Hey, what's up, buddy? What is going on?
Rushed to get this thing going tonight. Got off work and had to get home, walk the dogs, clean up a little bit, and then get on the computer.
Yeah, I completely forgot about tonight's show. Looks like a lot of the audience did. We got 23 people that are here. We went on a little later than usual. Ricky had to work tonight. We got Andrea Lynn here from Junction City. Kaylee Rouse is here. Double T is here saying hello. We got Ellen Dotson, Roxanne Fisher Jackson. We got some people in the house.
Yeah, got some people in the house. Thank goodness. Sorry, we're running a little late. Like I said, I did work tonight. I got off it was like 5 or 6 minutes after 9 or whatever it was, and had to get home and do some stuff. So
Yeah, we're here though.
Yeah.
We're here to have a.
I kind of almost forgot too. It was about 7:30, and I was like, "Oh man, there's a show tonight. It's Saturday."
Well, normally it wouldn't be a big deal. My wife went she kind of went out of town. She went like 2 towns over, and she went to a wedding tonight. So she's going to a wedding, and she's gonna probably be home pretty late tonight. So it's just me and the kids. My brother's wife and kids are over there too. So
And
having a quiet night, man. Just having a quiet night. Me and the kiddos.
Double T is saying your video feed's not looking too good.
I think it's because I have to. We might be leaving StreamYard because every time we use our buttons, it messes up our videos.
Oh, you just seem like you're a little like fuzzy and grainy and stuff.
Really, I look great on my end, man. That's crazy that I'm not looking good.
Really? Oh. Looks like Kaylee corrected you. She said it's Routh.
Rouse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Our apologies, Kaylee. Didn't mean to butcher.
Okay. Yeah, I'm terrible with names. Ricky's a lot better with reading names than I am.
Yeah, I try to be.
I'm not too hot at it. But yeah, action-packed show for you tonight. Kind of quiet over at KMU this last week. We didn't make a ton of flyers. Didn't get a lot of phone calls or texts.
Right. That's for sure.
So Diana Hayden's from Salina in the house.
Had several located safes though. That was a good thing. I did do
several
we have a
nice big
safes.
long located safe.
Yeah, I did do a few of those. And I
got
one
fuzzy
I got
and grainy.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have one located safe I've got to update after a bit, and I got it updated. I just got to post it. Keith Ritz was located safe. I was informed earlier today. So he's been located safe. I
got to fix this real quick.
Okay.
This might not let me do this.
No, it's looking a little better.
Yeah, well, I'm completely zoomed in is the thing. Yeah. So I got to fix it. Where's it at? I might not be able to do it. I might just be zoomed in for the rest of the show or be grainy. What would you rather be zoomed in or grainy? I'd rather be grainy.
I'd rather be grainy because when being zoomed in, you don't see anything below your nose.
Yeah.
So
let's try that. See if that's any better.
That's actually a little better there. I don't know what you did, but
Melinda Ewan is here. She says Southeast Kansas. Elizabeth May Morgan says, "Hi guys, glad to see all the found safe this week." Yeah, it's been really cool.
Quite a few.
Yeah. So we're gonna
let's hope and pray they stay located safe and don't get taken off again.
Right. That's always we got Lori from Walnut, Kansas in the house.
I didn't know we had a Walnut, Kansas.
I learn new towns every week.
Me too.
I don't know any of these places ever.
And I am a native Kansan. I've lived in Kansas 55 years. So I mean
wow. Yeah, I never heard of Walnut, but we're going to go on a Kansas tour one of these days, me and Ricky.
Yeah, we're
going to see all these towns.
Rent us a Winnebago and just go.
Right.
Maria Clark from Topeka, and Susan Algram from Ellenwood, and Kaylee from Wellington.
We're all over the place tonight. I love it.
Yeah, that's cool. Be sure you guys are sharing the show out there, and if anybody
Yeah.
watching, be sure you're shouting out where you're from so we know where we're getting to.
Yeah,
Even
we
if you're
want
out
to
of
see
state,
where.
even if you're out of state, let us know if you're watching from out of state.
Well, let's do a quick break real quick. We'll come back and cover some cases. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is thinking of running from home, has run away, or if you are a runaway ready to go back home, call 1-800-RUNAWAY. That's 1-800-786-2929.
The soothing voice of Stephanie Relaford.
Yeah, I like that. All right, we're going to start with Alex Perez, missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st of 2020. He was 35 when he went missing. He's now 36. He is 5'11", weighs 235 pounds. He has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. Alex contacted a family member via phone on December 1st, said he'd be coming to their home to do some laundry. He never arrived at the family member's home in Ulysses, and he's not been heard from or seen since by family or by friends. Alexander had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It's believed that Alexander may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City, Kansas surrounding areas. But we've also heard some not so good things about what may have happened to him as well. We hope they're not true, but always have to keep that in the back of our mind, unfortunately. And again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 35. He's now 36. He's 5'11" and weighs 235 pounds. He has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. He has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He has Perez tattooed on one of his arms. He has a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can't help get Alex found and back home where he needs to be.
We got Dottie over in Fort Scott, Kansas.
Yep.
Haley out in Hutchinson, Kansas. Diana says, I've been in Kansas my whole life. Never heard of Walnut, Kansas either. Hey, it's out there. It's out there, folks. No, I've been talking to some of Alexander's family. Just without giving too much information. Very active still, looking for Alex. So
that's good.
A lot of people, not just the family, there's a lot of people that are doing searches. Alexander will be found. I know it. So, I mean, not for lack of try. People are looking all the time. People are looking in places. So, if you, maybe I could, if the people that I know that are searching need some help, maybe I can ask them if they need any help. But as of right now, I just know that people are searching areas, and hopefully we know something in the future.
Yep. Let's just hope we can help get him found. So a lot of people looking. A lot of people looking for him.
Good night, Kaylee. Thanks for stopping by. Crystal's from Pittsburgh.
Yep. Thanks for stopping by, Kaylee.
Cindy from Kansas. Awesome. Cindy's been here quite a few times. I like when she stops by.
Yeah, I think another one I'd like to cover again tonight too is Dietrich Foster.
Okay, I can pull him.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about Heaven. She's been missing for way too long.
She's another one that's always, she's been heavy on my mind since there's been no information or anything coming out about her or anything. And I was telling Derek right before the show that I was wishing I could get a hold of some additional photos of Heaven, but I've tried to find her on Facebook. I've tried to find her on Instagram and stuff, and I just cannot find anything on her at all. But she is missing from Fort Scott, Kansas since June 24th of 2021. She's 17. She is 5'7" to 5'10". She weighs 130 to 140 pounds. She has dirty blonde hair and blue eyes. If anybody has any information regarding her disappearance or you know where she's at, please call the Fort Scott, Kansas Police Department at 620-223-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can help get her found and back to where she needs to be. It's been, 10 months. Be 10 months tomorrow, actually, that she's been missing for. And, just really need to get her found. get some information going on where she's at or something. And Heaven, if you see this or hear this, give somebody a call, let them know where you're at so they can come get you and get you back to where you need to be. Please let somebody know you're all right.
Yeah, we're cruising on a year.
Yeah. It's getting kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for anybody to be. I mean, if she's hiding, if that's what that we don't even know what's going. Maybe somebody took her. We don't know, but it'd be hard to believe that a 17-year-old could go this long without being spotted if she was trying not to be seen.
Yeah.
So it's just scary.
Hey, Tricia says, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. And hey, we were a little bit late getting here tonight, too, Tricia. So
everybody pour some coffee.
Yeah. Double T says she's been mussing way too long. Definitely has. Cindy says, thank you all for the hard work you're doing all the time. So many have been found safe. Yeah. Thank you. You're very welcome, Cindy. Thankfully, they have been found safe.
Yeah, this has been a great week for that.
I missed one. Amanda Cunningham, listening from Texas.
Nice.
Awesome.
My favorite streamer lives in Texas. It's this, it's Pop Watch. There's this little ornery old man named Pop, and his grandson films him all day, being ornery. And I want to go to Texas and meet Pop. But anyway, yeah, I like Texas a lot. Fort Close is awfully close to Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma. She could be anywhere. Exactly.
Good point. I didn't realize it was that close to those 3 particular states, but thank you for pointing that out, brother. Appreciate that.
Wow. Let's go ahead and cover Dana Jane Bruce.
Okay. I haven't seen Ellen in here yet, but we'll go ahead and cover Dana. She is missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th of 2008. She was 23 when she went missing. She's now 36. She is 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair with green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the remainder of the night. She was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with the man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man that Dana was with on the night she vanished. He went to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Dana's after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities haven't named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush, and she does not have credit cards, debit cards, a checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 23. She would now be 36. She is 5'2" and weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair, that was colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or their toll-free numbers 866-362-6422. And see if we can't get some information going on about what happened with Dana and get her back to her family.
Cindy says a lie detector test could help in her case.
Possibly.
I mean, you have to question everybody that saw her at the end. Somebody knows something.
Oh, Dana. Ellen says, I am here. Good to see you here, Ellen.
She says they gave out a couple lie detector tests. I'm sure they did, yeah. To the guy in the red truck. See, I'm always curious about the guy in the red truck. Why'd he leave? Why leave? Like every time somebody goes missing and it's somebody that last person was with him, like, I decided to move cross country today. Why? I just like it over here better than I like it over there. That's just weird. Double T says somebody somewhere knows something. Yeah, that's a pretty. I think I'm old school. I say you get a couple detectives, a couple phone books. You know, you start knocking people around. I'm just kidding. You know, I mean,
Right.
people know this information. That's how you feel. You want to do that. You want to like say that you're going to tell us right now. She
Right.
said that's a sign. I would really
Yeah.
like to see this one solved, says Diana. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. If there's people on this planet that know it and they're just not talking, I mean, we got to figure out a way to get them to talk.
Yeah. Cindy says nobody moves that fast.
Exactly. Like I just decided to move the other day.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, just decided to get up and move.
Yeah.
She says that Jason Roy is Pop's grandson. You got to follow Pop Watch, Rick. It's funny. It's just this ornery old man just sitting on his porch,
You'll have to
grumping
send me the
about.
link to that.
I will. He just like sits on his porch, grumping about life.
Dana
Diana says
says-
Pop is awesome. There's a lot of people. Ellen says there are a lot of people in Sedalia that know what happened to her.
Yeah.
Well, tell them to send me a message on Facebook. I'm pretty good at getting people to tell me stuff they shouldn't tell me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about Janiece.
Okay, that's one of the newer ones that I just actually did do this week. Let's see where you at. Oh, you're way up there. Okay, Janiece Jackson. She is missing from Wichita, Kansas since April 18th of 2022. She's 15 years old. She is 5'6", weighs 120 pounds. She has black hair that's dyed blue in the back and brown eyes. Her ears are pierced and her navel is pierced as well. If you have any information regarding Janiece's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't help get Janiece found and back to where she needs to be.
Right.
Excuse me. I know Annette Lawless did a Missing in Kansas segment on her. Apparently her dad had reached out to Annette and asked her to do a segment on her.
Wow. Yeah, that's anytime you see 15-year-old, unaccounted for. My niece is 15. She just got her job at Sonic. Like she walks home the other night from Sonic. It's only a mile. I was like, don't do that. I was like, I do a missing teen show, right? I was like, don't walk home I was like, call me. But I mean, 15's young, she's cool. She likes cool music, she gets jokes, but at the end of the day, she's 15. 15's too young to be out there where there's literal vultures looking for people.
Definitely. Rebecca's asking if we listen to the podcast that she sent. You might have to resend it, Rebecca, if you could. Double T is saying Sedalia's home to the Missouri State Fair. A lot of people are in and out of that city. Oh,
yeah,
that's not going to help. And Cindy says a mile's too far to walk at night. Yeah.
I live in Phoenix. It's a big city. I told her not to do it again. She's going to text me. This is another one you posted this week. Let's talk about Josh Logan.
And I'm supposed to be getting some additional photos of him, but hopefully I'll get those pretty soon. He's missing from Olathe, Kansas since April 14th, 2022. He's 17 years old. He's 5'7", weighs 160 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. It's believed he may be in the Johnson County, Kansas area, including Spring Hill, or he may try to go to Arkansas or Texas. And he's 17 years old. He's 5'7", 160 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Joshua's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call Detective Wimsat at the Overland Park, Kansas Police Department at 913-344-8742 or the Overland Park, Kansas Police Department at 913-895-6300 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Joshua found and back to where he needs to be. And yes, I'm aware that I said he's missing from Olathe and was giving information for Overland Park. And I had to clarify that, but it is correct.
Well, I just see see a dude that probably has a little bit of school to finish up, not much, but
Yeah.
time to go back and finish that and then do something cool with your life, Josh. Like you don't realize me and Ricky are sitting over here, old, beaten down men. You're a youngster, man. You're 17. We would love to be 17 again. Like you have the
Oh, man.
world in your hand right now. You can do whatever you want, be whatever you want. So just go back. If there's danger where you're going back to, call the police and report it. Don't go back into danger. But if it's just something's going on, you don't have very much time left. Just go back, finish up school, and then do something cool with your life. Be in charge, be focused, and do your best. I mean, I'm telling you, you're
Right.
17. You have the whole world ahead of you. You don't realize how much power you have in your hand right now.
Yeah. And Cindy's saying sex trafficking is big and you never hear much about it, but it is a real thing. Definitely a real thing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And Diana's saying yes, because unfortunately there's people waiting for that kind of opportunity.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah. And Cindy's saying, Diana, yes, too sad. Definitely. And Teresa Joe's asking, what is the update on my sister-in-law, Suzanne Johnson? Did you have any updates on Suzanne, Derek?
Oh no, we don't have any updates. One thing I will say, and I didn't know how I felt about sharing it. The only thing that I shared recently that I don't know, that was like, it's just, it was that, what was it? Oh, I asked if anybody knew about like if there had been any DNA testing done on any of the samples, because if you look at some of the newspaper articles from back then, there was DNA. Well, they didn't call it DNA because it was 1971, but there was like blood underneath her fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
So I posed the question to the Suzanne Johnson Facebook page. Does anybody know like if that's ever been tested or if something from 1971 specimens like that would be kept till now? And the only real update that I saw on it was, as far as me learning stuff new, is that it seems like a lot of people are wondering the same thing. And somebody actually suggested that maybe somebody draws up a petition saying like, hey, let's see if there's any DNA, and if there is, let's just run it through the database and see what happens. So that would be the only like advancement as far as like what's been going on in my world with Suzanne. Is just that several people, had mentioned that maybe if we got a petition to go to see if there was, just to basically see if there was any DNA test. It's 50 years old. This is 51 years now. Way too long. Her mom's, towards the last part of her life, she needs to, move on from this. But that's only really new thing that really popped up on that. But Ricky can go ahead and read the flyer, what we have on here. But yeah, this is that's all that's really new on my end.
Right. Well, Suzanne Johnson, 14, was reported missing from home in Elkhart, Kansas on March 4th, 1971. Suzanne's partially disrobed body was found 15 days later on March 19th, 1971, northwest of Elkhart by a volunteer searcher, about 30 minutes after a large-scale search was launched to look for clues in her disappearance. Her case does remain unsolved. If anybody has any information regarding her death, please call the KBI at 1-800-572-7463 and see if we can't help get this case solved. It's been way, 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 way too long.
I mean, I just read, and it's like, this old paperwork, and they're like, they knew the blood type. They knew the blood type of the blood under her fingernails. So I'm just like, if they had that much, if they had enough blood to see the blood type, if that's just in a baggie somewhere, like, let's run it through the database just to see, like, but again, I don't know, because I've called, the KBI about Suzanne before when I was younger and more naive and didn't understand how things worked when I first started investigating it. And they have the same, I haven't called them in a long time, but they will always forever have the exact same comment. If you call their number and ask them any questions about Suzanne Johnson, they'll say the following: sorry, it's an active case. All information is sealed. That's the only statement you're going to get from KBI about Suzanne Johnson. So, yeah, nobody knows what they've done. I know they've worked tirelessly on it though. But yeah, I'm just at the point, like, it's like Hail Mary time, I'm just like, hey, I'm reading this article from 50 years ago. It says they knew the blood type based off the blood found under her fingernails. why can't somebody test that if it still exists? But again, this is just an idea I had. But yeah, so not a real update, but just sort of I'm just curious, you know?
Yeah. And Rebecca sent that link again. missinginmissouri.podbean.com.
I'll have to check it out.
And Polly Finney says, I haven't watched in quite a while. Are there any updates on Alonzo Brooks? I haven't seen any. I'll have to do some digging to see if any have come out, but I haven't seen any pop up anytime recently. I know they're still working the case and stuff like that. So hopefully they can get that one solved.
Right.
And then Sherry is saying, where is Ryan Larson? We're going to cover him tonight, obviously.
Yeah, we're going to be covering him in just a moment. Tell us about Kaylee Winans.
Okay, we actually covered her last week, but I did an update on her flyer. And on that strip of photos there, where there's the 6 photos, the second from the left is the new photo that I added on her. And I got my hands on. She's missing from Topeka, Kansas since April 13th. 16 years old. She's 5'2", weighs 140 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. It's believed she's still in Topeka. Again, she's 16, 5'2", weighs 140 pounds, has brown hair that is naturally curly, but she does straighten it often, and she has brown eyes. If anybody has any information regarding Kaylee's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department. It's 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9200 or KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't help get her located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah. Too young.
Yeah.
Too dangerous.
And Cindy's asking down here, 50 years, what can they be doing to keep it open?
I don't know, man. It's frustrating.
And Teresa says, thank you, Derek.
Yeah, for sure.
And Teresa says, my goodness, 51 years unsolved is far, far too long. This case needs solved. It definitely does. There's no question about that.
You know, I just saw some things and I don't know. Like I said, Hail Mary. Yeah. I thought it'd be worth asking the public, and I got a pretty good response from people. They were like, let's start a petition. I'll sign it. You know, let's see if they've tested it. If not, we'll see what's stopping them from just what if there's just some random person that's on the database for doing stuff like that, and he just passed through Elkhart in 1971. It would be nice to know. Right. You know? It might be in a database. But anyway, we can move on. Tell us about Beverly Logan. This is a little bit of an older flyer.
Yeah.
And I put missing on here, but this is actually
an unsolved homicide.
Yeah,
is what it is.
So we'll have to redo this one for next week. But this, yeah, you get the gist of it.
Yeah, on January 21st, 2008, the Salina Police Department responded to 1200 East Iron to check the welfare of the only occupant of the residence, Beverly Logan. Officers found the front door ajar and Ms. Logan deceased in the kitchen. It was apparent to the investigating officers she was the victim of a brutal attack. This homicide occurred around noon on a Monday next door to a heavily patronized convenience store on a major arterial street, which, yeah, definitely is. It's a convenience store with a car wash right there and right there on the intersection of a major heavy traffic street. And then, like I said, major arterial street going the other direction, which is Iron Avenue. Beverly's murder has been extensively investigated by the Salina, Kansas Police Department, and the investigation is ongoing. There have been no viable suspects developed. If you have any information regarding Beverly's death, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or call Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477 or text SA Tips to Crimes 274-637 or visit www.pd.salina.org and follow the Crime Stoppers link to submit a tip. You may receive a cash reward of up to $1,000, and you're not required to give your name, so you can stay completely anonymous.
Wow.
I know they had some working theories that they thought maybe at one point that she had some collectible dolls, and they thought maybe that was why she was targeted, and that was really the only theory. And Teresa said she would sign that petition you were talking about too.
That's awesome, man. I'm gonna look into that.
And Double T says, I'll never understand how or why they ruled out the suspicious person seen outside of Beverly's house. They put out a composite sketch and then ruled him out. Why? That's true. They put out a composite sketch of a black man with dreads, and
which is what
said he
Diane
was
is
standing
referring to
outside
here.
on the corner in front of her house around the time that it happened. And then they recanted and said, no, he's no longer a person of interest, and pulled the sketch.
Well,
So,
okay, so I don't know anything about this case, but I do know how media works, and I do know how sometimes law enforcement can work. It is, it's not unheard of for a crime to happen, and then the nearest black person gets arrested until everything's figured. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it's kind of, and again, I'm not trying to get political. I just feel like sometimes that facts are facts, and I feel like minorities kind of get a crap deal sometimes, and I feel like if there was any person of color, any ethnicity that was in a block radius of Beverly's house when that happened, I'm sure they were questioned, and it's just the truth how I feel things. But that could have been just somebody just walking by her house, that just happened to be around her house. And obviously, if they completely pulled it back and recanted it, to me, I think Salina Police Department they probably wouldn't just pull that away just for no reason. I'm sure they did a pretty big investigation to find out whoever the guy with dreads was, whoever they were, wasn't involved. But again, I don't know anything about the case, but I just know how things work sometimes.
Yeah, because I know they, like I said, they put the sketch out, and so this was a person of interest. He was seen standing outside of her house, around the time that it happened, and then they said, "Oh no, he's no longer a person." They never explained why he was no longer a person of interest, but they just said he wasn't. So I don't know. And then Double T says, "Broad daylight, busy convenience store, no one sees nothing. How?" Good question. And then we got Trisha saying she would sign the petition. Diana said she would sign the petition.
Wow.
And then Diana says it was also seen at the Taco Bell where she frequented.
Right.
That's interesting. That's first I'd heard of that, Diana. Thank you for sharing that.
Right.
Somehow I missed that little snippet.
Who knows, and hopefully if he was,
Double T says he would sign it. I'll sign it.
I'm going to get working on it, man.
There's at least 6 right there.
Yeah, man. I'm going to get working on it because I think it's time, man. Her mom's, getting up there in age, and, I don't talk to her that much anymore. But because I always just felt like bad when I talked. I'm like, why would I talk about this? This is 50 years ago. She doesn't want to talk about this, but I know that deep down in her heart, she wants to know what happened to her kid,
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to figure out. And if it's as simple as a DNA test, why not?
Right.
If that stuff still exists and if it's still testable, you know what I mean? It's a lot of ifs.
Right.
Tell us about Betty Hayes.
Okay, I have to check for some updates on her too. I haven't checked any updates recently. Last time I did, there wasn't any, but she went missing from Perez, Missouri on December 20th of 2021. She was 88 years old. She's 5'2", 86 pounds, gray hair and blue eyes. She was last seen at 17040 Route C, Holiday, Missouri on Thursday night about 9:30. Her vehicles are still at her home, and she is not known to be traveling in any personal vehicle. She does suffer from dementia. She is 88, 5'2", weighs 86 pounds. She has gray hair and blue eyes. Last known to be wearing a dark stocking hat and dark coat, possibly black. And information that has come out from people that have contacted me about doing her flyer and stuff was that apparently when they went to the house to check on her, it was discovered that her front door had been kicked in and she was missing. So I don't know. But if anybody has any information regarding Betty's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or contact the nearest law enforcement agency or call the Monroe County, Missouri Sheriff's Department at 660-327-4060 or the Missouri State Highway Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 866-362-6422. See if we can't help get her located and hopefully back home safely where she belongs.
Right. Another one of those red box specials we'd love to see on every flyer, the reward money. She's got 10,000 reasons to tell people what happened.
Yeah. $10,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest and convictions of the person or persons responsible for Betty's disappearance, or information that leads to her safe return. So,
Exactly. Yes.
I'm going to jump on Monroe's Facebook page real fast and see.
Go ahead and look for that update. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Leaving an abusive relationship is a highly personal, individual decision, but all survivors benefit from having trusted people during this time. Since those experiencing abuse are Leaving an abusive relationship is a highly personal, individual decision, but all survivors benefit from having trusted people during this time. Since those experiencing abuse are often isolated by their abusers, it's important to know how you can support survivors on their path to finding safety. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, please reach out to the hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Again, that's 1-800-799-7233.
Checked in from Brandon, our producer, who will be back in the studio next week.
Oh, cool.
He's working.
Question, why did it restart over?
Because I hit the button twice.
Oh.
that was my fault. I did that wrong. But
it was going along, and then all of a sudden it started over. I'm like, what happened?
So real quick, we do have a big announcement coming soon. We have a new tool that we're going to offer the world. We don't want to go too far into what it is, but there's going to be a really cool new tool involved in the KMU world, and we'll make that announcement hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that for sure.
Cool.
We got Andrea saying she'll sign the petition. Terry's asking, is foul play suspected in Betty's disappearance?
What now?
Terry's asking, is foul play suspected in Betty's disappearance? Okay.
No new updates on Betty Hayes either. The last article that I find was March 25th.
So no updates.
Says missing Monroe County woman's family devastated, but hopes she can safely return home. And at that point, it had been just over 3 months.
Yeah.
And her family, she may have possibly been abducted from there that night, her home.
Diana's talking about the guy with dreads. It's just something I remember from when it happened. Rumor or fact, I don't know. Trisha says good news on Brandon. Yeah, he had a rough time being down. His computer took a dive, but it's back up and running now, and we're doing good. You still looking for updates, or?
Yeah, I was just looking real fast. I didn't really see anything that stood out to me other than, the family believes she was abducted, and it was because of what they were saying about the front door being kicked in and her being gone.
Well, I mean, Double T's question was, is there foul play suspected? I mean, I'll just put this out there real quick. If you guys ever come to my house and my front door's been kicked in and you can't find me, foul play. That's all I'm saying. That's sketchy. Doors kicked in and she's missing. I think that's foul play. I'm not a cop. But if I was her family, I would be like, well, that's not those are two really bad things in a row.
Yeah.
Tell us about Daniel Little. We'll have to do some more research on Betty after the show.
Yeah, so I didn't see anything new on Betty, so. All right, Daniel Little, August 29, 2021, Greenleaf, Kansas. Approximately 2:37, it was reported to the Washington County, Kansas Sheriff's Office that a body presumed to be deceased had been found in the Greenleaf, Kansas area. Upon officers' arrival, an adult male subject was confirmed to be deceased and was identified as Daniel Little, age 40, of 2220 11th Road, Greenleaf. Assistance was requested from the KBI at the time. Cause of death and other factors regarding the death are pending investigation, and no further details will be released at this time. If anyone has any information regarding this death or the whereabouts of Daniel Little on the evening of August 28th and or the morning of August 29th, please contact the Washington County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-325-2293 or KBI at 800-572-7463 and see if they can't help figure out what happened to Daniel.
Right. Yeah, that's a little, just random, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
just like Greenleaf, Kansas, huh?
Not exactly sure where that is either.
Me neither. I don't know about that one either.
Yeah.
Ricky's feed is freezing up. Sketchy is an understatement. Yeah, super sketchy. Seriously, if you ever come to my house and my door's kicked in and I'm missing, alert the authorities. Something bad has happened.
My feed will freeze up if Derek is running a scroller at the bottom.
Yeah. Or we might be moving from StreamYard soon. This is an old flyer. I need to update this. Go ahead and tell me about Alex LaRussa.
Okay. He is missing from here in Salina, Kansas since December 8th of 2017. He was 25 when he went missing. He would now be 29, 6'2", 175 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Last contact with family that Alex had was about 4 o'clock in the morning on December 8th. Alex was wheelchair bound as his left leg is amputated above the knee. We do know that his vehicle that he was in was found abandoned northeast of Salina a little bit. And his belongings were inside, including his wheelchair and wallet and stuff like that. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 25 years old. He'd now be 29. He's 6'2", 175 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes, has a tattoo on the left side of his neck that says pain. You can kind of see it a little bit in a couple of those shots there. If you have any information regarding Alex's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210. Or call Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477 or text SA CHIPS to crimes 274-637 or visit www.pd.salina.org and follow the Crime Stoppers link to submit a web tip. You may receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 and you're not required to give your name. Or you can always call KBI at 785-296-4017 as well and let them know what you know as well about Alex's case. See if we can't help get him found and back to where he needs to be as well.
He's a pretty big dude, 6'2".
Yeah. Terry says Greenleaf is in Washington County, east of Belleville, near the Nebraska border. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And he follows up. Alex is another one that has sketchy and foul play written all over it. Yeah, especially since they found the vehicle with his wheelchair and stuff like that inside. So,
yeah. So Shanna?
Shanna Holstead, hello from Wichita. Hello, Shanna. I don't know if it's Shana or Shanna.
Probably Shanna. I always say the names wrong.
Yeah. And Diana said this one needs solved too. It's odd there's no real leads on this. That's definitely true. There hasn't been. It's been completely silent. At least from what we're hearing. I mean, police may know more than what we do, but I mean, obviously they know more than what we do.
So yeah, in December it'll be 5 years. That's no good.
Yeah, I know. That's what amazes me. We had a murder a few days ago here in town, here in Salina, and man, they were all over that one. They had in a matter of hours, they had the suspects' mugshots up and flyers out and press releases out and everything else. And by that same afternoon, he was arrested in Kansas City. So, I mean, they were all over that case. I was just like, wow, they got on that one quick. But yeah, he's going to be extradited back this way to face charges.
Well, who did he kill?
It's kind of a crazy deal because they responded. The police were called what they thought was a car accident, and when they got to the scene, the victim was found shot to death in the passenger seat of the car.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had misheard you. I thought we were still talking about Alex's.
No.
You're talking about that case, yeah, that you had just told me about before we went live. That's like a pretty new update, right?
Yeah. They caught the guy in Kansas City that same day, and they're going to extradite him back to face charges for that. And they just identified the victim today, and I can't remember what his name is, but a second I can tell you real quick here, because I shared it with people earlier today.
Oh, they didn't release the victim's name?
They didn't for a while because they said they had to contact his family because his family lived out of state.
Wow.
But he was 37-year-old Chad Lee Jared DeVinny. Is what his name was.
Well, I'm glad they caught him, man, because we're gonna have to talk about that next 5 years. Like, I wonder who did it. Sounds like they found who did it, man, or at least
they did.
innocent until proven guilty in this country.
And
but
it was interesting how he was caught. He went, like I said, he was in Kansas City, and a citizen there recognized him from other issues that he's had. The dude's got himself involved in Kansas City and called it in, said, "Hey, here's where he's at," and they came and got him. So he's sitting in jail waiting to be brought back to Salina.
I saw they caught him in KC.
Yep, they did. Chad Devaney, yep. That's too bad, though. I feel for his family, and my heart goes out to their family, because I'm sure that was extremely hard to get that phone call to hear that, their loved one was, found shot to death in a car.
Yeah, that's terrible, man.
Mm-hmm.
Senseless, man. It's just senseless.
Yeah.
Tell us about Thomas Everett Sr.
Cindy says she loves your red glasses.
Thank you. They're a year old. My wife said it's already time to get new glasses. I feel like I just got these.
All right. Thomas Everett Sr. This is another unsolved homicide. He was found shot to death in the 300 block of South Mill in Kansas City, Kansas. There have been no suspects named, and no arrests have been made in this case. So if you have any information related to Thomas's murder or the suspects, please call Crime Stoppers at 816-474-8477, or go to their website, www.crimestoppers.com, or text TIP 452 plus your message to 274-637, which is crimes, and let them know what you know regarding Thomas's murder, and see if we can't help get some justice for him and his family. Because that's been almost 22 years, so it's time to get some answers in that case.
Yeah, again, like I was talking about with Suzanne Johnson, it's Hail Mary time. It's been 22 years. Let's find let's get some answers.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, if we need to hit some people with phone books, I'm just kidding, but it sounds like a good. I mean, you want to know. This is some stuff you want to know. It's like it's enough is enough. It's been 22 years. If you know something and you're sitting on information, I think that takes a pretty cowardly person, and just saying honest, to not let Thomas Everett or any of these people we talk about let their families move on. I think that's pretty cowardly.
Definitely.
I don't know if you pulled this one yet, but you told me to pull it. Let's talk about Dietrich Foster again. While he is getting that one going, governor's reward $5,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction on those responsible for the disappearance and suspected murder of Dietrich Foster. So Ricky's going to tell you about this case.
Yeah, and back on April 12th, there was a big media push to get Dietrich's case and out there again to get some information generated on his case. And quite a few news agencies actually ran stories about Dietrich that day. So hopefully, and we did did him on the podcast too, and we've covered him several times. But he went missing from Independence, Kansas on April 12th of 2020. He's 37 when he went missing. He'd now be 39. He's 5'9", 190 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. He was reported missing on May 12th, but he was last seen around April 12th in Independence. KBI agents and detectives from the Independence Police Department are conducting the case as a homicide based upon findings during the investigation into Foster's disappearance. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 37. He's now 39. He's 5'9", weighs 190 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Dietrich's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Independence, Kansas Police Department at 620-332-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And as Derek mentioned, there is a governor's reward of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the disappearance and suspected murder of Dietrich Foster. And as part of that media push, they also released a new photo. And on your screen there is the photo on the lower left corner in the white shirt and tie there. That's the new photo they just released on the 12th.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Diana's saying, how could you live with a secret like that for all these years? And that, I wouldn't be able to. It would eat me up.
I wouldn't do it.
And it would eat me up.
Well, the last case of the night, we're going to go ahead and cover it real quick, and then we will show our located safe. we need to kind of wrap this up soon because I have 2 children unattended. Well, they're not children. They're 6 and 8. But a little worried. They're over here to the right watching a movie over here. But yeah, I need to probably watch them pretty soon. So
well, every so often when he chimes up, it scares the crap out of me.
See, and I can't hear anything because I play music while I do shows because I don't like silence. So I don't hear him. So I'm just embarrassed. Now, you guys have been hearing Doc this whole time?
Right. Yeah, every now and then.
You guys were hearing him.
Every now and then, like a couple times. It hadn't been but like 2 times. Both times he's said something or whatever he did scared the crud out of me.
Well, I apologize, everybody. I didn't know he was yelling.
But anyway, let's see. We're going to talk about Ryan Larson. He was missing from La Vista, Nebraska since May 17, 2021. He was 11 when he went missing. He would now be 12. He's getting ready to be 13 in June, so we're getting close to his 13th birthday here. He's 5'8", 125 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. He walked out of La Vista Elementary School located at 78th and Terry Drive in La Vista Monday about noon. The last confirmed sighting of Ryan was about 2 o'clock on Monday. And actually, there was, I think they believe that they have since kind of changed that a little bit because they're, I think they've found video or something, maybe. I don't remember exactly. But he is autistic and considered high functioning. Prior to his disappearance, he had done searches regarding hiding from the police, hiding underground, and how to avoid being spotted. And I also know that they said that they had found his umbrella next to a dumpster in his apartment complex, but they didn't find any evidence that he had actually gotten into the dumpster or anything like that, so they don't know if he did or not, but I know they're still heavily looking for him up there. At the time of his disappearance, he was 11. He's now 12. He's 5'8", weighs 125 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last known to be wearing a black jacket, which is pictured on those 2 pictures on the far right there, and blue jeans, an Old Navy shirt, and he, like I said, he had a polka dotted umbrella, but it was located. He did have his backpack, but it's unknown if he had any like survival supplies or just books and normal school supplies. Law enforcement's now considering foul play in Ryan's disappearance. Police are asking if you see Ryan, do not approach him. Instead, follow him at a safe distance and call 911 immediately, or call the Vista, Nebraska Police Department at 402-331-1582 and see if we can help get him found and back to where he needs to be. It's
really scary.
And it's coming up on a year.
I mean, he's 12,
12 and high functioning autistic. And
when we first started this show, when we first started covering Ryan a year ago, you said high functioning autistic, and I didn't really know what that meant. Right. And then about 6 months ago, my son's school and the doctor told me and my wife that my son, Race, who's 8, he'll be 9 in July, they said he's high functioning autistic.
Oh, wow.
So to me, he's just a normal kid, but they said he has like some certain things about him that, I just thought were just like quirks, but they say that they're like, he has, high functioning autism, but, it's like one of those things, like you hear somebody has high functioning autism and you wonder like, they're just normal people. They're just wired differently, like my son just feels differently than other people. Like he expresses himself differently. And so, I don't know. The thing about Ryan is if he had just disappeared like this, I would put all of my money on that maybe he got into that dumpster that day and got knocked out, or the smell of something knocked him out.
Yeah.
To me, that makes the most sense. But when they did the search of his, web search history, and you're looking at survival stuff, how to elude the police, that's just like a huge, like, why would a 12-year-old Google that went missing? So you kind of, want to entertain this idea that Ryan did all this research and figured out how to Bear Grylls the world and just live outside, and he's alive and well out in the woods. I'd love to believe that, but it's been a year, buddy. It's scary. He's 12.
Yeah. And I believe there was some concern being that he is autistic and he does have required medications he's supposed to take and doesn't have them with him, that he wouldn't necessarily make it this long without him. So I don't know.
Right. I don't
know. It's a scary situation. And I do feel for his family, that's for sure.
Right.
I couldn't imagine, I mean, it may have started out for, trying to hide out for a little while and avoid being found, and then it could have took a turn for the worse somehow.
Right.
Yeah. I hope not.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
mean,
he's safe wherever he's at, but I don't know.
the fact that we're cruising on a year,
Yeah, I
in
know.
just like 2 weeks or so, doesn't make me feel like, happy. I don't think, the chances of him out there surviving is
Mhm.
just not a real chance. I don't think, it's just I don't see how a
Yeah.
12-year-old could do it, but I hope
Yeah.
so. I hope that's the scenario where he just said, I'm gonna go live in the woods and hopefully he's out there thriving. But I mean, just being a realist, I feel like something
Yeah.
bad
I
probably
mean,
is
you
gonna go
figure we
on.
went through a pretty harsh winter, and
Yeah. I mean, there are grown men that can't survive the elements.
yeah,
It's the outside is nasty, no matter where you live.
yeah,
Well, we want to thank everybody. We got some comments.
yeah. Sherry Cook saying for all the prayers for all these souls. Ryan, where are you? Diana's saying, how could you live? Oh, we already read that one. And she said, although you know what these people are capable of, that's referring to her previous comment.
All right.
Double T says, a 12-year-old autistic boy missing for nearly a year is not a good thing. He's not going to be able to hide himself, I wouldn't think. Well, you
Right.
wouldn't think, no. And Melissa Joseph's praying for a safe return. And Melissa also says that she has a 25-year-old daughter that is autistic as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Autism, man, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
My son's got it, and we're learning. But
Yeah.
I gotta tell you what, I was kind of the most surprised person to find out about it. I was like, really? I mean, he just seems like a normal kid, Just
Yeah.
they say he's different. But anyway, we'll be right back after this. We're wrapping up to the tail end of the show. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You're watching Kansas Missing
Definitely.
Unsolved Podcast. We'll be right back after this.
I definitely agree with Steve Trigger. I guess it's Trigellis. I hope I said that right. Somebody somewhere knows all about the cases. I agree with that. I agree with that. And Diana's saying thanks again for all you do. You're very welcome, Diana. And Ellen as well says thank you for everything you do. You're very welcome, Ellen.
Good night, Dad.
But yeah, we finish out real fast with what we normally do, which is Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together so we could cover some more cases and hopefully generate the information that's needed to bring these folks home or to help solve these unsolved homicides. And do want to pray that everybody out there watching the show tonight and that's listening to the show on the downloads later on, be with them and take care of them and keep everybody safe. Heaven knows it's a crazy world out there. We, just need to kind of look out for each other and be there for each other. And we pray these things in your name, Heavenly Father. Amen.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.